Hello everybody, this is Mark in Oklahoma, and I have a eye condition called retinitis pigmentosa. I slowly lost my sight as I grew older in life, and I gave up a lot in life, but life has always been good to me, and let me tell you a little story about retinitis pigmentosa, the kind I have especially, because I know a lot about it. And in 1960, I was a child, and I was told by rumors in the family that I was going to go blind from retinitis pigmentosa because I went and had my eyes checked by an optometrist, and he seen some dark spots on my retina that were starting to form, and that was I didn't really know that much about it. So when I would come home when I was a little child, about 7 or 8 years old, we had some World Book and encyclopedias, and I would look up the condition retinitis pigmentosa in the World Book, and there was 4 lines about it in a picture that showed how pigmentosis looks like on the retina, and that was all they knew about retinitis pigmentosa in the 60s. And in the 70s, there was not much more. I went and had some pictures taken, and I was 15, and they didn't know if I was going to go totally blind or partially blind or what in life, because they really didn't know much about retinitis pigmentosa. So the pictures they took of my retinas in the 72 or 73, they were used in research books, so doctors could, see what retinitis pigmentosa might look like, to, see if they can diagnose this, in patients. And as time went by in the 80s, there wasn't much. In 83, there was an organization that got started called the Foundation Fighting Blindness, and I think it was first called the RP Foundation. They started raising money and doing research to actually investigate and research a condition that never has been researched before. So if you really didn't know anything, whatever you knew about RP before 1990 is probably worthless. So as time went by, they raised money and they started doing clinical trials and research about. Then they found out there was 200 different kinds of retinitis pigmentosa. And they found out later on, because of DNA. Now, DNA came around in the 90s, and it was a medical research tool but also police departments use it to find criminals and things like that. But DNA has really progressed, and in 2000, it really started progressing. In about 2005, they started, breaking down DNA so far to see how inherited diseases were transmitted through the families, to offsprings. And I went and had some DNA drawn. I used my saliva back in 2008 in the retina centers of the Southwest in Dallas. Not very many retina research centers in the country, but they were doing a trial out of Michigan, and they took my DNA. It took 2 years to break down my DNA to actually find out what was missing in my body and how it would be transmitted to my offsprings if I had children, and how that would work, in my form of RP. And if you have your blood kin to me, this is how it will most probably work in you. If I had 2 children, for example, a girl, a daughter, and a son, neither one of them would have retinitis pigmentosa. But my daughter, her daughters would not have RP, very much RP, if they ever got RP, and her sons would have a 50-50 chance of having RP. Now that's one scenario. Okay, now my son, if he had kids, none of them would have RP, but if he had daughters, she could pass on the disease, just like I said, and her through the down, that way. And my son, his son, only his daughters would pass it. Only his daughters' boys could have RP, but you have to be a girl to pass it to your son. But it passes through the family whether you're a boy or whether you're a girl. And this is actual clinical trial facts. In 2010, when I got my results back, and they just took some more DNA, I sent to the retina centers for more research on this. And these are facts. Myths of people and how they think eye conditions, are passed on, you know, from like going to a family reunion or something like that, are basically worthless unless you put it on paper and actually spend money on doing research. And if you have my blood in your body, you most probably will have a family member in your future that will have retinitis pigmentosa and will lose their sight. Meanwhile, they're doing research to stop this condition, which is, you know, and they come up with a bionic eye implant by August 2, company out of California, Second Sight Corporation, and it was approved for use in the United States, and I hope to go to Dallas to get this device, and I would probably go by myself. It didn't really matter where I went because my insurance would pay for everything but the $1,400 deductible that I would have to pay for the implant. But it won't pay for my motel room, it won't pay for my transportation there or anything. And I tried to get in touch with people in Dallas that were sort of related to me, but I never could find those people. It didn't matter whether I went to Los Angeles or San Francisco or Seattle or Chicago or Atlanta. I thought I could have a friend in Atlanta I could stay with. But I did call Michigan, the first center that actually did the commercial implants, and their center is 25 miles from the airport in Detroit, Michigan, and I just don't think I could afford that, you know, because you have to go multiple times, and I'm not asking anybody for any money. I know God will show me the way, and I have to stay at a homeless shelter, you know, or whatever, a cheap hotel in a dive part of town, because you have to stay there for a couple of weeks after they do the surgery, and you have to go back and forth. But God will show me the way, and He always has. And sometimes people in life, you know, think because you're blind, they're better than you, and they kind of put you down. And just like I go to Walmart sometimes, and some of the checkers there act like I'm blind and act like they're superior to me, and my blindness is an issue, and it's really not, because, you know, if I had sight, I probably would be checking at Walmart. But I might be. But, you know, I sure would be judging people. And a lot of people do judge people. But my life is good, you know, and I can do almost anything in the world, you know, if I believe, and God gives me the will to believe. If I don't let people put doubts in my mind. And people sometimes will put limitations on you if you let them. But anyway, God bless everybody, and I truly hope to stop this eye condition in my family. And I've been going to clinical trials for years, and I've been doing research. I talk to doctors around the world, you know, and sometimes I have to tell them about research that has been done, and because they're not informed. But God bless everybody, and about my music comes from God. It sure don't come from me. If I write a song, it comes from something I probably experienced or I've seen in life. And if you don't like my music, then that's okay. If you like my music, then that's fine too. And if I can make a person smile or do something to make the world just a little bit better place, you know, I hope I can do it. And I hope God sends an angel and shows me what to do, you know, about the eye implant, because it's going to be very, very hard for me to do this. But anything worth having, you know, you got to try and struggle for it. And I've been trying awful hard, and I hope to continue on to perhaps be part of the research that will stop retinitis pigmentosa and blindness in this world. God bless you all, and don't need to pray for me, because just you ever think this, hope that God shows me what to do in life and guides me, and what will be will be. God bless from the beautiful rolling hills of Oklahoma. Have the greatest day of your life.
0. Stop recording video.